Captain's Log, Stardate 55044.6. After spending a few weeks escorting the Starship Voyager around Sol until the USS Enterprise could take over, the expedition was to complete some minor upgrades at Earth, and with a slight debriefing with temporal affairs along with command on our accidental jump into another universe. Some of the crew has been transferred to Earth, along with Chief Mendrock, who's taking a sabbatical shortly after completing the upgrades to the expedition. The ship is now finally on course for Starbase 21 to resume our normal operations in the area. While given our recent events with our ongoing problem along the Thorian border, I wish I were able to give the crew more time on Ryza while the ship was being repaired there. While the chief is away, the crew is making do with the general maintenance of the expedition, which I'm sure upon Mendrock's return, he will find the ship as he left it. While I'm not too happy with our reduction to our medical staff on board the ship, as many have been recalled to areas near the Tholian border in case the worst comes to pass, hopefully the diplomatic corps is able to gain some sort of resolution out of their proceedings with the Tholians, because the last thing the Federation needs is to be embroiled into another conflict while the aftermath of the Dominion War is still fresh within our minds. Given the state of things, I requested numerous times with Fleet Command to send us replacements. I have only been given with the response, make do. I just hope Command is not overreacting, and all this is merely the Tholians flexing their proverbial muscles. While Starfleet's job to be the military arm of the Federation, we are still explorers after all, and that is something I do wish in time we get back to. And Captain's Log.
Excellent. So, as the log stated, the expedition is currently heading back toward Starbase 21. You guys are still en route to that. It's been pretty uneventful aboard the ship the last, I don't know, what is it, 3 weeks or so? 3-4 weeks, somewhere around there.
25 days since our last episode.
There you go. 3.5 weeks. You guys have installed some computer upgrades and the like. And for the most part, the ship systems are running as they're supposed to be. However, within around the ship, you are starting to experience some power fluctuations in some of the nearby systems. And we'll start you guys there on the bridge.
Oh, jeez. Great.
Engineering. Bridge to engineering.
Engineering here. Go ahead, Captain.
Have you been able to lock down the source of the power fluctuations?
Unfortunately, no, Captain. The cause of the power fluctuations is still eluding us.
Keep at it.
Aye, Captain.
Commander, why don't you collect whoever has available engineering backgrounds and see if you can't isolate, or at least help isolate the problem.
Of course, Captain. We'll see what we can do. And Gross looks at Nadon. Lieutenant, care to head down to engineering?
Bye, Commander.
Excellent. Let's make our way.
All right. So you and Nadon head toward the turbo lift and enter. Leaving Captain in the case, he's still on the bridge. So now where's the question? I used to have turbolift noise. Is that it? So yeah, we'll keep with DeGrasse and Nadan in the turbolift.
Any ideas about what could be causing the power fluctuations, Commander?
Honestly, no idea. No, we've been making some upgrades to the ship, and obviously, I trust the Chief's handiwork in the extreme. So, I don't know. Any thoughts from yourself?
No idea. I guess we could always. I'm not sure if we want to try the plainly obvious solution that sometimes works for panel tech support.
Percussive maintenance.
I was more thinking make sure everything is plugged in and turned on the right way, but that works too.
Yeah, let's try your solution first, and then we might start hitting it with spanners, I guess.
Suddenly the turbolift power cuts, and you guys are left in the dark.
DeGrasse taps his comm badge. DeGrasse to engineering.
Go ahead, Commander.
We seem to have lost a little bit of power here in the turbo lift. Seem to be stuck. Any ideas about when we might be unstuck?
We just registered another power fluctuation in that sector. Stand by, Commander. We should be getting that section up momentarily.
Thank you.
I'm gonna see if I can turn my tricorder into a ridiculously overpriced flashlight.
Go ahead and give me a control engineering difficulty 1.
Yellow.
Hello, Governor. Get 1 momentum. And yes, Nadan, you are able to turn your tricorder into a makeshift flashlight. It's not the best, basically you're running off of the lights on the side of it, but it's adequate enough.
You're in game. I'll head out.
At least we can see.
Yeah, that's a nifty trick. Have you always been good at engineering and science?
I was basically one of those children who is insatiably curious about how everything works and took various things apart. Eventually, my parents told me that I was only allowed to take them apart if I could put them back together again, so I learned.
So why did you choose science? A scientific career, I guess I should say.
Mainly because the figuring out of problems is what I enjoy more so than the applying existing solutions. So I do enjoy solving targeted applied problems, but I'm a little bit more on the figuring out what the rules are, so to speak, than the figuring out how to use the rules to my end type.
And the power turns on and your turbolift starts moving again.
How did you get interested in science and engineering, Commander?
Well, more science than engineering. A little bit of a knock-on effect, I guess. So I come by my engineering just by happenstance. I was always more theoretical, and was really drawn to just the abstract I guess. So, how it is. You just get started on a subject and you go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you start seeing the connections between others. And before you know it, you're a young person reading through scientific articles, and you're cooped up in your room all day. So, but yeah, let's see if we can solve this. It might be interesting to
Yeah.
see if we can put our heads together and do what the chief might have missed. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. The chief is highly competent. But if he missed anything, I don't think it would be anything obvious.
I agree.
And the turbolift stops and the doors open to where is it? Engineering. There we go.
So as they walk in, Duras will ask, who's the engineering lead on duty?
I should probably find a token for that, shouldn't I? Who do you like better to head up engineering while the chief's gone, Knight or Sokolov?
Sokolov's a lieutenant, but
Yeah, let's see
Knight's still an
Sokolov.
ensign.
Knight is a lieutenant junior grade, but
Right.
she's in operations.
A well-deserved promotion.
So it'd be Sokolov for the time being.
Oh, here you go, Casey.
Oh, my plane.
Sure, why not?
Hello, Commander.
Lieutenants, how have you been?
Very good, but busy since the chief has left.
Oh, I can imagine. Chief normally keeps things running tip-top shape here, so big shoes to fill, but I'm confident. What seems to be the problem with all these power fluctuations?
GM?
Typing something to you now.
Awesome. Everything appears to be running fine, but obviously something isn't. I haven't been able to track down the cause.
Well, Lieutenant, I guess I should say Lieutenant Nadan. Now's the time to test your theory.
Yeah, I guess so. So I guess what we would like to do is rule out all of the obvious things, just for the sake of ruling them out, and then we can move on to the less obvious.
All right, give me insight engineering difficulty 0.
Well, it was a good roll to have that roll on.
Yeah, you just hit it.
Just snuck in there.
Shouldn't we have one momentum from the roll earlier?
Yes, you should. And I sent you a message, Nadan.
It appears that the computer notices a fluctuation in the power relays just when the power is about to cut. So, does that suggest anything to either of you?
Could I get the middle part again?
I was saying that the computer seems to think everything is operating normally, so it's not the issue. Whatever it is, isn't showing up on the routine scans. But it does appear that there's a fluctuation in the power relay right before a power failure.
Have the scanners detected anything externally that could be affecting our power?
I believe Nadan gets a free question if I'm not mistaken.
I do. I will, as my question, I think I'll ask if there's anything in the external environment that we know of that could cause this issue, or if we can run a quick scan to see if there's anything, any foreign bodies near the power relays or anything like that. Okay. So nothing is obvious externally. So I guess let's run the scan to see if there's any foreign bodies.
All right, that will be a reason or insight engineering difficulty 1. I'll allow 1 assist.
Actually, while I have Sokolov activated for today, I think I'll increase him to 5 engineering. If everyone agrees with that, because earliest he's only at 4.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Bumped him to
Might
5.
make sense to have him head it if that.
What was the roll?
Reason or insight with engineering difficulty 1, and I will allow 1 assist.
He'd have a 15 in that.
Oh, okay. I'm 16, I guess. I can lead and he can assist.
Sounds good to me. Would electroplasma systems be a focus?
Yes. Yeah, just give you guys all the momentum to start. You guys gained 4 out of that. Then I'll send it to both of you guys.
Well, it seems we've found the cause.
And what is that, Lieutenant?
Well, the chief appears to run the system at a slightly higher percentage than what they are designed to handle. The chief bypassed some of the safety protocols and used his own skill to keep the systems in check. I usually work in transporter rooms, so I was not aware of these changes.
Huh. Any idea why the chief would do this?
Well, an expert engineer, sir, could get very good performance with these modifications.
Huh. Okay, well. How long would it take to correct some of this to make sure that we don't have power cuts throughout the ship?
I estimate it would take about an hour or so to reverse the more serious of the chief's changes. I'd like to learn how to do this myself one day, sir, but I don't believe that my skills are quite there.
Well, you and me both, Lieutenant. Maybe when the chief gets back, you can sit down for a few lessons. I'd be happy to attend as many as I could. All right. Lieutenants, you get to the repairs as quickly as possible. Let me know if you run into any roadblocks. Lieutenant Nidan, would you like to stay and help out with some of the repairs?
That's probably wise, Captain. That way we can get back up fully operational as soon as possible.
Sounds great. Both of you, let me know if you need anything. I'll be on the bridge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you should probably inform
Yep.
the commander of what I just sent you.
Okay. As well, sir, crewman London, who is assigned to my team, did not report for duty today. I meant to send someone down to check on him in his quarters, but I've been busy with this situation.
You said that was crewman who?
Landon, sir.
Landon. Well, I guess I can swing by his quarters and check on the way to the bridge. All right, lieutenants. Thank you.
Sir?
And yeah, DeGrasse will make his way out, and while he does so, he'll ask the computer where the crew quarters for crewman Landon are.
All right, so I'll stick with engineering. Commander, the computers point you in the directions to crewman Landon's quarters. So you can follow that. I'll go ahead and take care of the engineering stuff really quick. Gonna get out of the way. So to fix the chief's modifications, I don't want to say fix, but to revert the chief's modifications is going to be an extended task. It'll be control or daring with engineering difficulty 2. The work will be 8, the magnitude 2, the resistance 1.
Okay. Would I be able to use the maintenance specialist talent? It's for directing normal day-to-day maintenance and repairs, because it's just reverting like back to a normal state of operation.
The what now?
Sokolov has a talent maintenance specialist, which reduces the difficulty of a task by 1 to the minimum of 1, and half the time required to complete the task if it's related to sort of the day-to-day maintenance and repairs of Starfleet equipment, since he's kind of reverting it to their normal operating procedures.
I propose Sokolov lead this one, as he's more familiar with the routine maintenance protocols.
Yeah. So you guys could do this in a half hour, yeah.
Awesome. So it's okay. So is that diff 2 after the
So it'll be diff 1.
Okay. And focus in EPS systems?
Yep.
All right. Take a threat. Yep, that's maximum momentum.
Yeah, you gain 4 more. Go ahead and do the challenge dice. Sokolov with 7, Nadan with 1.
Did that roll for anyone?
No.
Rolled for
Now,
me.
now it did. Now I see it.
Yeah. All right. That's
So I'm counting 9 minus 1 is 8.
yeah.
He has Nick in time, which is extra work per effects.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You guys got it. Yeah. So, you guys probably get these repairs done in 20 minutes.
Classic engineer move. You say you need an hour, but you can really push it to 20.
Right. You always give a higher estimate than what it actually is. And it's up to the command staff to know if you're bullshitting or not.
Too real.
So yeah, so you guys are able to do that, and then we'll go to the commander. I'm slowly getting to the theater of the mind. Outside crewman Landon's quarters.
So DeGrasse taps the door chime.
And there's no response to your door chime.
So DeGrasse asks the computer about the current whereabouts of crewman Landon.
Crewman Landon is in holodeck 3.
Huh. Computer, when was crewman Landon supposed to report for duty?
Crewman Landon's duty shift has him starting at 0900 hours.
And what time is it currently?
11:23.
Seems like somebody's wanting a little free time this morning. Great. So DeGrasse will head to the holodeck.
All right. All right. So yeah, you're heading to the holodeck. Captain, you receive word from the from engineering that the issue, the power relays, has been resolved, and that they do not expect any further issues. And Commander, you eventually make your way to the doors of the holodeck.
So DeGrasse will again hit the door chime in the holodeck.
Oop, that's another. And again, you get no response from inside.
So DeGrasse is becoming very visibly annoyed at this, thinking that he should be up on the bridge, not attending to crewman matters, but he's here. And he'll ask the computer, computer, what holodeck program is currently running?
The Danish conquest of England.
The Danish conquest of England. Not familiar with that. Computer, open holodeck doors.
Do I have the holodeck doors still on here? Now I'm curious. I used to. It would appear I don't. Anyway, the holodeck doors open, and you see this. And I got a little bit of explanation, or a little bit of stuff to. You peer into the holodeck, and you see a small medieval town located in Saxon, England. In this town, you see several of the buildings appear to be burnt and smoldering with smoke coming from them. Several dead bodies adorn the middle of the courtyard, as well as people start trying to rebuild and move some of the dead away.
Well, this is relaxing. Well, guess we're gonna do this. So DeGrasse finds the nearest hologram and asks,
As soon as you approach them, they run away in terror. And they start screaming something about the plague.
huh.
A person walks out of the center here dressed in a long gray robe and says, "Be gone from here. We have had enough death without plague carriers adding to this town's suffering."
Tell
And you
me,
notice several of the townsfolk gathering arms and start approaching you. Pitchforks and clubs, a few with swords.
DeGrasse is going to say under his breath, I don't have time for this. Computer, pause holodeck program.
Unable to comply.
Computer, why are you not able to comply?
The
Computer.
holodeck control relays have been damaged.
Can DeGrasse see the door to the holodeck? Is this
The entrance is right behind you.
Okay. So DeGrasse will casually step out, making sure that he doesn't turn his back to the villagers.
And you exit the holodeck, the doors close, and you find yourself back in the hallway.
Taps his comm badge. Commander DeGrasse to the bridge.
How's it going, Commander? Got a report there was a missing crew member.
Word travels fast. I think I know their approximate whereabouts, Captain.
Oh?
Do you know anything about Earth's ancient history? Perhaps Danish or English?
It doesn't ring a bell.
Well, seems we've lost our crewman Landon in a holodeck program, and it looks to be a pretty dangerous one. So might need some help down here. Computer's not shutting off the program. So
See
Yeah.
if you can't get an engineering team on that. We'll see if we can't have transporter room try and lock on and beam the lieutenant out of the holodeck.
also, Captain, remind me to ask the chief a few technical questions when he gets back from leave. Thank you, Captain. DeGrasse out.
Lieutenant Knight, are you able to get a lock on Lieutenant Landon and the holodeck?
Negative, Captain. There's too much interference.
From what?
I'm just not able to get a clear lock on anything in the holodeck, sir.
Mr. Casey, how familiar are you with Earth's history?
Relatively, sir. It was my minor at Starfleet Academy.
Any insight you have on the program that the lieutenant is running?
Well, it's not one that I recall ever running. However, the Great Heathen Army is a legendary event in English history. A large group of Viking raiders assembled themselves into an organized force and invaded the divided Anglo-Saxon kingdoms.
Sounds like an interesting Holo program.
Indeed.
She raises an eyebrow at that. GM, real quick. What is the current time?
About 11:30. Alpha shift.
Is DeGrasse heading to the bridge or is he staying outside the holodeck?
DeGrasse could be heading wherever he wants to be.
DeGrasse figured that he would take a stroll around the ship. No, I'm kidding. Excuse me. He's right outside the holodeck right now.
Bridge to Commander DeGrasse.
Yes, Captain?
It would appear that there's too much interference in the holodeck for us to get a lock on the lieutenant. I'm afraid you'll have to go in and get him.
Understood, Captain. There look to be a few hostile holograms in there, so if Lieutenant Casey and anybody he would feel worthy to bring along would meet me down here, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Mr. Casey? Commander, I suggest a time period appearance might be more suitable.
Are you getting into the historically authentic program, Captain?
Well, I assume that were the programs hostile to you?
Yes, Captain.
Then yes, I am suggesting that you get into the program and try to mingle.
Uh, just teasing, Captain. Understood. We'll put on our finest period garb.
Stop by engineering, see if you can't fine tune a communicator to due to the interference that for some reason is in there, but we don't lose contact with you while you're inside. Perhaps a subdomal communicator.
Understood, Captain. We'll get it ready.
All
And,
right, so what do we need to set up here?
Well, Casey's going. Uh,
Yeah, so FYI, all the action I plan on having take place in the holodeck. So GM recommends everyone go.
I'm sending Casey down there, then I'm gonna try to roleplay convince Nadon that we should go too.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
I'm just waiting for Casey to leave. Lieutenant Nadon, how do you think about indulging in some cultural insight?
A lesson in applied anthropology, Commander?
Yes. They just got demoted again. Though I just wonder how responsive the holodeck is. Computer, display a historical time period on potential human appearances and run it through my console.
And the computer will bring up some of the historical dressings, some of the hairstyles and such. From around that time period, so.
Captain to Commander de Grasse.
yes, Captain.
The programs, how do they react to you?
Well, Captain, they mentioned something about me being a plague carrier, and they certainly seem hostile.
Fake carrier.
Our facial markings.
Oh. Perhaps a trip to sickbay, Commander.
Sir?
Your spots.
Ah. Our spots.
Yes.
Right.
They're humans, so
Uh,
they probably haven't seen Trill before.
Human society. Ugh. All right. I'll meet you in sickbay.
So to the sick bay.
Yes. We're all going, I guess.
I'll throw Casey there for funsies, but I don't think he really needs it.
As he's, well, subdermal or probe communicator or whatever.
Yes. All right.
Can
Go ahead, Casey.
I was just gonna say, can they like trigger like facial hair growth really fast in the 24th century so he can have like a age appropriate beard in like 5 minutes?
You sure can. I mean, most like a plastic surgery procedure is rather simple for a doctor in this day and age, at least. If Voyager has taught me anything.
Alright, well, Casey will get the Instagrow beard.
Okay, so to do any cosmetic stuff to your characters, I'm gonna need whatever doctor you want to use, doctor, nurse, whomever, to roll a difficulty 2 control medicine check.
I would say Mackenzie, Dr. Claire Mackenzie on this, because she's rolling 17s. And she's the ship's surgeon.
And feel free to role play while you're in here, while the doctor's doing the work.
Xenobiology or surgery for a focus for this? For the doctor.
I don't think either.
I mean, it's cosmetic surgery.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose.
I mean, you could get a threat out of this because she has bold.
Oh, then okay. I will say you guys entered a new scene, however.
Oh.
Mm.
Is this for each one for everybody?
I'll just do one roll for everybody.
None of her talents will apply. Let's see if we can't roll a complication. See? Look.
You said it.
I know. What happens when I go fishing for momentum?
It's like how I said, "Come on, complication" on Thursday's game, and he got 2 of them because it was awesome.
That wasn't me. That was.
Oh, I know. It was still awesome.
It was hilarious.
It was. The outcome was still awesome, and that's why I was hoping for complications. You just bought it off?
Yeah, I bought it off.
All right, then go ahead and give me control medicine difficulty 1 for the subdermal implants.
Surgery for a focus or biology, xenobiology?
Probably not either for those. This is a pretty straightforward procedure.
Take a threat. Watch this be all 2s. No, no. Cop. Kenzie, what's the problem?
Get a reroll.
Yeah, I reroll.
Get 2 momentum out of that. All right, so all the characters have been given their makeovers. They no longer have their facial spots. So you look very much like a human.
And Casey has a beard.
Yes. A very impressive medieval looking beard.
DeGrasse will say, Casey, I think that suits you.
Thank you.
Are you normally capable of growing this type of beard?
Well, of course, I've just never really considered it. I've been shaving since the academy.
DeGrasse kind of glances at the captain. Well, I mean, if the captain doesn't mind having a bearded officer on her bridge.
I don't think there's a Starfleet officer at a game that has actually had a beard, except for Riker. I mean, it's not against regulation.
Well, we'll save that decision for after this adventure, I suppose.
And Captain's gonna get appropriate attire.
Had a beard in Deep Space Nine, didn't he?
That's true.
Oh yeah,
Those
he
two.
had the goatee.
Yeah, that wasn't until like way later on though.
Third season. And Worf had a beard.
And Cisco had a goatee at one point.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else you would like to prepare?
Just time period appropriate clothing. So
Yeah,
you don't
that'll
stand out.
Yeah, that I'll waive. It's just a simple replicator make me these. So you're able to get the. So
I would
well, here's the
probably
question.
want. Sorry, go ahead.
Here is the question. Do you want fancy dress or more poor looking dress?
Poor.
I would think like Casey would dress up in sort of like a very basic, like sort of warrior class sort of outfit, just like a helmet and a sword, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In Prax, I was thinking maybe go for more fancy, just because, well, A, it might command more respect, and then B, it would be more likely for wealthier people to be traveling from out of town in medieval times. So it might actually arouse less suspicion if we were to do that. I mean, unless you're going for like totally blending in.
Sure. I feel that's gonna backfire, but we'll go with that idea.
Did I just doom us all? Yeah, probably did.
I'll be your body, your house Carol.
So you guys are going with the fancy dress or fancier garb?
Sure, not like royalty type thing, but
Yeah, fancy travel clothes.
yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, you guys are able to get those garments without a problem. And the doctor leads you to a private area so you can each change and all that fun stuff.
I mean, at least hopefully we don't get it wrong. Like, Marty McFly did going back to the Wild Wild West.
Ooh, yeah, good call. Casey, did you just draw a beard on yourself? I like it.
Wait, what? Where?
Check out his icon, lower left.
Quick paint job there, but
Oh, I see it now.
I love it. So the grass will say, Captain, should we all go armed?
Type 1s only. Yeah, we're only going to take type 1 phasers, and then appropriate time period weaponry.
Cool. So that'll probably be like a short swords and stuff. So I'll let you guys carry with you. Oh, I gotta find the equipment page. I think it's the dagger. Stat wise, I think it's the dagger. So the blade. I'll let you guys carry the blade. 2 challenge dice, vicious 1.
Which will only be able to be Casey and DeGrasse.
Yeah, unless the other 2 wanted like knives or something to hide them, but
would I be able to like carry a shield as well? I don't know if that would do anything, if it could give me like resistance or something, or it's not resistance, but
so that I'll give that to you as an opportunity cost of 1, and when you have it equipped, I'll give you a 2 challenge dice covered dice. So it will be opportunity 1.
I mean,
Probably take a dagger.
So the dagger is challenge dice 1, vicious 1.
And it's deadly.
Yes. Oh yeah, the swords are deadly too. There's no way around that. All these weapons are deadly.
if nobody minds, I think I'll take the shield. If anyone else wanted a shield, but
I think Prex already paid the opportunity for it.
For the shield, yes. Are the rest of the weapons opportunity cost?
No, the rest I'll give you. Really, I'm just making you guys pay for the extras. If like Casey wanted a full chain set, it probably costs a lot more.
he's like a house Carl, but not a house Carl for anyone like crazy rich.
Yeah, they can only afford to pay him padded armor. Oh, cool. So if there's nothing else, I think we'll head to the holodeck, unless there's anything else you guys wanted.
Applicable form of currency.
No
coins.
issues there. Yeah, no issues there. Anything?
That's all I got.
I think I'm good.
Cool. So you guys will get to the entrance of the holodeck. So if you guys wanted to do any role play stuff before you enter, or if there's anything else you guys wanted to do before you enter, really.
Make sure the transport room has a lock on us at all times.
For a momentum, I'll say yes. Since you got the communicators, they can just lock on those. Or keep a lock on those. Cool. Yeah.
So DeGrasse will say, Casey, you know a lot about this time period, huh?
I wouldn't say a lot, sir. Just a basic understanding from some classes at the academy and a bit of personal interest.
So would you say that these Holo programs will be reasonable?
Well, it's difficult to say. Of course, England was in a great state of panic with the invading armies, plague, harsh winters, and many other threats they faced. They're a highly superstitious people.
Well, this just gets better by the minute.
We'll have to tread carefully, but I think we'll be fine.
Well, shall we?
I am upset the holodeck door is not on here anymore. But Prax leads into the door and you enter into that village. I got to put everyone's tokens on here too. And like I described before, there's burnt out buildings, there's black smoke billowing. People are trying to gather up and collect their dead. The person that's still in that confronted you earlier, Kate, DeGrasse is still, like administering to people. Like you could kind of tell he's like the religious person, potentially the leader of this village.
So DeGrasse recognizes him from before and then sort of fades back a little bit and lets the rest of the group members kind of lead the way.
I could depends which one is good on here. I don't even know what music we have anymore. City Center, maybe? Let me know how that sounds. If not, I could try another one.
It's fine. It's appropriate.
Cool. So you guys are able to take in all of this scene. And I will follow your lead.
Uh, sh- captain looks to Nidan. See if you can't find the lieutenant discreetly using your tricorder.
Hi, Captain.
All right. So while Nadan's doing some super secret scans, what's everyone else doing?
I imagine Casey's just kind of standing near the captain, sort of protectively, because never know with those angry peasant mobs.
I believe the commander was you heading to the priest.
Was I heading to the priest?
That's what I'm asking. Were you?
Oh, yeah.
I think
it
he
was-
said he was cowering.
Yeah, I was like fading into the background. DeGrasse is a little worried that he might be recognized again. So he's going to try to play it a little in the background for a bit.
All right, so Nadan, I'm going to give you a reason or insight with con difficulty 1, complication 2.
He's, my scans suggest he's approximately 2 kilometers, that way, and I'll point.
And Nadan points into into this forested region over here.
Let's see if we can find out what happened here. And she's gonna walk up to some random person.
And you walk up to like one of the shop vendors nearby. Again, they're trying to clean up their stall, piece together what little they have left. Sorry, my lady, we're closed.
Oh, no worries. What happened here?
Danes happened here. They raided this village last night.
How terrible. Tell me, how many of you survived?
Out of a town of 50, there's only about 20 of us left. They killed or captured the rest of us.
It's dreadful. Tell me, I'm looking for associates. And I go through the motion and describe the lieutenant. Have you
There
seen
was
him?
there was a contingent of the king's army that was stationed here last night. They tried to hold off the Danes, but most of their number were killed. And that's when the pillaging happened. Most of the town folks that fought were either killed, and those that didn't were captured.
How, how dreadful. Tell me, are they still nearby? I think they'll be raiding this village again.
These Danes have been raiding this village night after night for the past 3 weeks. Finally, King Alfred sends his guards out, and they were ineffective. Don't understand why he doesn't send the bulk of his army. He takes more and more in taxes from us, and does not little to protect his subjects.
Indeed. Such horrible calamity. Takes out a gold coin and hands it to him.
Thank you, my lady. A word of advice? I would leave this place if I were you. The Danes and their pagan gods are coming for us. And with them come nothing but death and destruction.
Tell me, who is in charge of the village now?
And he'll point to the to what looks like a priest.
The guy. Got it.
He is in charge of the monastery here. Most of the town folks look to him for leadership.
I see. Thank you. Curtsies.
And he'll kind of look at you weird after you make that gesture. But he'll go back to cleaning up his stall.
Goes to rejoin the others. What do you make of that, Mr. Casey?
Well, the Norse were, of course, raider people at this time. The tactics are very consistent, but I think if we want any more information, it seems we will have to talk to that priest that the commander seems to be unfond of.
But in case it maybe appear that our lieutenant was engaging trying to defend this village, at least by the sound of it, and I would hope
It does seem to that the nature of this program was to engage in the warfare of the time. Casey's gonna try something. Computer?
It chimes.
How long has this program been running?
The program has been active for approximately, I got to do some math here. 15 hours 36 minutes.
Quite the long session. If the battle was last night, Captain, it's possible that our crewman Landon was injured and is still and requires attention.
Computer, status of holodeck safeties.
Safety protocols are not functional.
Of course.
You had to ask.
I wanted to know before we go off and fight the Danes.
I always forget to ask because you always know what the answer is.
Oh, no, like Star Trek wise, you always ask.
Yeah, exactly. Totally slipped my mind. Wait, so is this person we're looking for a crewman or a lieutenant?
It's a
Crewman.
lieutenant. You thought you said
Okay.
Lieutenant Ladon or Langdon.
Crewman.
It's crewman?
Yes. I'm pretty sure DeGrasse also said it was crewman.
You
Oh,
sent
it is
crewman to
crewman.
me.
Okay.
Did say crewman.
That's the one called him lieutenant at one point.
He's a lieutenant now. Captain promoted him. Battlefield promotion.
That's a huge promotion for a crewman.
I know.
He leapfrogged me.
Which is pretty amazing because you guys didn't pull a service record, but he's been on the job for about 2 weeks. Fresh out of the enlisted training on Mars.
We don't judge here, all right? She's gonna walk up to the priest.
So the priest is actually inside this building, and you find the priest, and he's actually kneeling in front of an old wooden cross, praying. Does everyone go with, or are people doing separate things here?
Casey will continue to follow the captain for protection reasons. I guess this counts as the captain being on an away mission, sort of, so the safety protocols off.
DeGrasse will walk around the village a little bit, just observing a few things and seeing if he can talk to any of the locals.
Okay. Nadan? So I guess the question, Nadan, is: are you going with the captain, or are you going with DeGrasse, or doing your own thing?
I guess I'll go with the captain.
All right. So DeGrasse, you're strolling around the town. Can you please roll me Insight Engineering difficulty 1? I'll get back to you with what happens with the roll. We'll stick with the captain and Casey and Nadan.
Real quick, do any focuses apply?
I'll have a look and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yes, one does, DeGrasse.
Awesome.
All right, and we'll stick with the captain.
She kind of whispers to Casey, I'm not familiar with Earth's religion. What's the appropriate title to address him as?
Are they a friar or a father? GM.
This would be a father.
Well, this is a an ancient Catholic priest, Captain. The correct title would be father.
Okay, thank you. And she'll slowly walk up to the priest. Pardon my intrusion, Father.
He'll remain silent for about 5 seconds, and then he'll open his eyes and look at you. What can I do for you, my child?
I was inquiring about the raid that happened in this village last night. A dear companion, I believe, was in the mix of things. I do not see him around the village, at least so far. I was wondering if you had any news of where the Danes might have taken him.
I overheard some of the king's army last night. They were here to try to raid one of the smaller bands of Danes located in this area. However, the Danes got them first.
How troubling. Tell me, has anyone managed to escape?
From the Danes? Never. I've never heard of a case of escape. The Danes either kill on sight or enslave.
I see.
And if your companion was indeed part of the king's army, I fear that he is already dead.
Tell me, have the bodies, have they been buried yet?
The remaining townsfolk is seeing to that now. I am, of course, trying to provide the souls of the deceased what little comfort I can, and trying to give them a good word with our Lord. As unfortunately, I am not able to perform the last rites to those that they have taken.
Of course, if you permit me, Father, I would like to at least search for my friend among the dead to see for myself if he truly is.
I see no harm in that. If you are able to locate your companion amongst the deceased, at the very least, he will know he has the comfort of those who care for him.
Thank you, Father. And she'll walk away.
And you and your group head back outside.
And she's gonna try to locate the Gross wherever he went.
And just at that moment, DeGrasse will tap his comm badge and message Captain. DeGrasse, the captain.
Go ahead, Commander.
Well, I seem to have potentially found the source of our troubles here today. Looks like found a holodeck control relay that seems to be malfunctioning due to a sword being inserted into it. So we might have some repairs to do.
That's unusual.
Telling me.
Are you able to repair it here?
GM, does this look like something I can repair?
Let me see if I had a roll for this. Give me a insight engineering difficulty 1.
So DeGrasse will poke around the control a little bit. Say, Captain, I mean, I'm not an expert. It would be great to have the chief here, but I only think that we can turn this off and correct the issue. Well, with the program off, which means we have to end the program somehow. So we're in a bit of a catch-22 here. In short, I think we have to end the program before we can start any repairs.
Understood, Commander. Meet back up with the rest of us.
Understood, Captain.
And a few minutes later, DeGrasse enters the little clearing or the little town opening the town center you're in.
Mr. Casey, any insight on how to end this computer program? See it through its completion?
Well, if Landon was a part of the king's army, perhaps it is to defeat the Danish force. Perhaps there is a defined objective to the end of this program. Computer,
The computer chimes.
is there a defined objective of this program?
I had this be a roll, so I gotta think if I want to play this. Give me okay, so the computer lists several options in which to end the holodeck program. Participants in this Holo novel will need to choose the appropriate path to end the conflict with the Danes.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't want to give up the history roll.
Okay. Can I attempt to roll to see if I know specifically like where I am and what may be the objective?
Oh, there's a roll for the history. So if you're trying to find the history, like hide it by a computer terminal or like, the gateway or whatever.
Yeah. I think I'd like to find history.
or run out into the hallway and grab a computer terminal.
Right.
Either or. So it's actually going to be an extended task because you're sifting through Earth's history, trying to find the correct data. So this is going to be reason or insight with command, difficulty 4, work 20, magnitude 4.
Do I specifically have to lead because I initiated this, or?
No, anyone can.
Oh, I'm
do it.
terrible. Well, actually, I don't have very good insight command, but
The role was Insight Command.
Yeah, I don't know why I put com. Yeah, command.
Oh, yeah. So my insight command would be 13. But I also do have that special exo ability to assist and get more out of it that way.
I'm
I have a
rolling
12 insight command.
I'm rolling a 16, so
Prax is leading.
So the question is, where are you doing the research?
the gateway.
All right, if you're doing it
Arch.
from the so if you're doing it from the arch, I will allow one assist. As you know, I figure one person will be on either side trying to get the data.
Let's have you assist DeGrasse since you have the collaboration talent.
Sounds good.
But I figure everyone will learn all the information at the same time. Like everyone's kind of crowded around the arch.
I'm going to use my join talent to gain the focus of history.
That seems like an applicable use.
So will that work though?
For history, yeah. What I am going to do, though, I am going to, for the duration of this roll, because you are trail searching through human history, I am going to make this a complication range 2.
Okay.
And I forgot the ship. The ship is going to assist with computer's command.
Someone must have grabbed the ship for that. So I'm going to spend my determination on a insatiable curiosity.
Yep.
Take a threat, and I'm spending 1 momentum for third dice. Rerolling that complication.
The dice hate you tonight, Trax.
They do. Which means I'm going to roll really well against them tomorrow on the Argo.
Yep. I just need the ships.
Does someone have the ship?
I can pull it up. What was the roll for the ship again? Sorry.
Computer's command.
Computer's command. Yeah.
I'm counting 7 successes.
Yep.
So you guys will gain 3 momentum. And Prax, you can roll me 7 challenge dice. DeGrasse, you can roll me 1. What does your superpower do?
So I will be using the progression portion, and that's character makes an additional 1 work for each effect rolled.
Cool. Basically vicious. So 13? Yeah, I'm counting 13.
Yep. What's the resistance?
No resistance.
Overkill on that roll.
I know, right? So first piece of information is coming up. Because that's only 1 breakthrough. So you guys are at 7 work, 3 difficulty, 3 mag. That's pretty much what Casey told you, so...
Take a threat, spending 2 momentum. 4 dice. Get the
Just
ship,
need-
Casey.
Yep. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to hit twice.
So that's another 7, so you gain 4 out of that. Go ahead and give me those same challenge dice.
I'm gonna go ahead and just spend the 1 float that we have to reroll 2.
I'm not sure if you need to be honest.
Flavor. It's gonna go away anyway, so 15.
Yeah, so it's at 0 work. You got 1 more magnitude left, so it'd be diff 1.
Yeah, it should. Yeah. Just for the reroll, take a threat.
Just need the ship. Just need the ship, Casey.
Oh, sorry. Keep getting distracted.
Well, there's the 1 success we need.
Yep, just roll the challenge dice. Yep, you guys got it. In Discord is all the information that you got through the histories. And then you guys could roleplay all that out.
It would appear that in this being about the and would be to essentially bribe the Danes. So, assuming that who is playing King Alfred?
Hmm. So was it the Danes that attacked the village that we're in?
According to the priest, yes.
Okay. So would that imply that we're not currently in Wessex? Do we need to travel?
Uh, can I looked at the computer program to see the location of this village, supposedly in the name?
So the village is located in the territory of Wessex. Throughout history, this was one of the villages that Guthrum himself raided several times.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna try something else. Computer. Uh, what, what if any particular role did crewman Landon play within this Holo program?
Crewman Landon played the chief negotiator attached to the king's army.
So I guess yeah, that's what I thought. I guess like probably
Oh, I should probably
the
charge you on momentum for that.
That's fine.
the truce. I guess is like signing the truce is probably the condition to end the program, or one of the conditions that could end the program.
Nidam, what are your thoughts on the matter?
Um, I feel like we're at a bit of a loss of information right now. Honestly, I'm not sure what to make of the situation and the malfunctions. Plus, obviously, the situation here.
I don't know if this would be another momentum, but computer, how did um, King Alfred bribe, or what did King Alfred use to bribe the Danish leader?
This will be a momentum.
Is everyone okay with it?
Spent.
Awesome.
King Alfred offered most of his treasury of gold in order to bribe the Danes.
Well,
Well, it seems we have at least one viable option. assuming we have the location you pointed out down earlier, it's probably where Rutham is currently at, holding a crew member hostage.
We could always try to recover them by military means or by force, Captain, and forcefully end the program once all personnel are extricated. We could also
With the holodeck
potentially.
safeties and the malfunction of the holodeck, I don't think adding more Starfleet personnel into this matter would be viable.
Perhaps we could replicate a large quantity of currency similar to that which uh, Guthrum would have been bribed with and attempt to conduct the negotiation ourselves or reconduct it.
Or a small chest.
Perhaps the villagers know something about the negotiations for the truce.
It didn't seem like they did in the earlier conversation, though. I am not entirely too sure the king would, at least reading on this historical event, would really want to divulge that openly to his people. See if we can't procure a horse and wagon. Horses and a wagon. Or if the computer is able to replicate us one.
No, is that directed at Casey?
Everybody.
See.
Well, replicate's the wrong term. Materialize. Don, would you like to roll for that?
Sure, I guess.
Control and engineering difficulty 2. You could be assisted by the ship's computers engineering.
Complication range of 1.
Yep.
There we go.
It looks like you gain 1 momentum out of that.
Good.
And yeah, you're able to materialize the horse and wagon, probably on the outskirts of town, so it's not shown to be appearing in the middle of town.
Yeah, the last thing we need is for the villagers to think we're a bunch of witches and Satanists.
I was thinking like the wagon, well, essentially be more like a carriage for like royalty, like for King Alfred, for tension prosperities.
Yeah, that's fine.
Spend a momentum for that. There's a chest, not a large chest, like a chest of, jewelry or jewels and gold.
Yeah, 1 momentum. Any extra stuff you'd want with that?
armed holodeck guards of knights.
Another momentum I'll give you. Contingent of about 10 or so men.
That works. There's your army, Casey.
Finally.
And she gets into the carriage. Shall we go?
Sounds good, Captain. Let's do it.
Casey, check your message.
Wait, I'm a bit confused. What is this in relation to?
So maybe you wouldn't know this.
Like a signet ring for like
Yeah.
a contract or
Like on a scroll.
okay. Right. Okay, yeah. So materialize a signet ring.
Not the ring, but like like the wax seal
Yeah.
that he makes, like on a scroll or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will cost a momentum. So basically, what I'm referring to is like you have like a signed document from the king himself with his personal seal to show authenticity.
Yeah. No, I kind of forgot about that, but yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, we got a document, a chest full of gold, a contingent of soldiers. Can't think of anything else.
All right. So yeah, so if there's nothing else, you guys hop in the buggy or assume positions as guardsmen.
Prax is right in the buggy.
Yeah. I was more referring to Casey. All right, so you guys start heading with your contingent of guards, the buggy, the the gold and jewelry, the seal, towards the spot in the woods where you believe the camp is, or at least where the tricorder is saying the crewman is. Um, and so you guys are on this road when eventually you guys are surrounded by 12 Danish warriors stopping the like kind of surrounding and stopping the buggy. All the guards pull their swords. All the Danes are yelling. It's very loud.
Come on, DeGrasse. Put them in their place. Of course.
Hey, sorry. I barely heard that. I just heard DeGrasse.
So as you guys were traveling up to the place where you believe the crewman is being held, the your procession is surrounded by about 12 to 15 Danish warriors. All of them drawing their swords, all of them, pounding on their shields, ready for battle, doing their war cries. It's very loud. Your soldiers have jumped off their horses and pulled their swords, ready for an attack.
Sounds epic. Prax, did you say anything? Ross?
Prax is inside. Are you outside of the carriage? Or like riding with like the essentially the coachman?
So if Prax is inside the carriage, then yeah, DeGrasse would probably be riding up front with the coachman.
All right. So what do you guys do?
Yeah, tell them we have an offering. Maybe.
This will have to be role played, otherwise, no worries. This is definitely role play time, or fight the Danes.
So who's the new negotiator then? Or like new official of the king? So kind of have the last one.
I can take the role.
Then you're up, DeGrasse.
Well, I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, I think Prax would be the one to ultimately lead the negotiations. I'll take it. Who is it that stops this caravan of the Lady Prax?
You have entered land claimed by the Danes. You will drop your weapons or be destroyed. And out from one of the trees appears this gentleman.
And who is this that makes this demand?
I am Guthrum. I'm Jarl of these lands.
Guthrum, you say? One moment, and DeGrasse disappears inside the carriage. Captain, this situation might require your special abilities.
Of course. Prax steps out of the carriage. I am Lady Israel Prax. I come here on behalf of the king.
And what king is this?
King Alfred of Wessex.
You see that, men? King Alfred is afraid of you. He sends this woman to negotiate. And all the Danes in the company start laughing and banging on their shields with their swords.
If you don't wish to hear my offer, then we'll be going. Of course, your men will not survive the night.
Give me presence command opposed, Captain.
Deception for a focus.
Definitely.
Take a threat.
I will use it.
I can't get. any low numbers.
This is actually a tie.
I'm gonna gamble and re-roll one of the ones.
You can succeed at
Well,
cost.
I had both commands, so.
It appears
what's-
that you are the ones that are outnumbered here, Lady Prax. Tell me, what does the king bring?
an offering, so long as you agree to end these cycle of violence, you will be well confiscated for this. And she brings out like copy of the treaty.
He'll see the seal. Very well then. Tonight we will feast and discuss your terms, Lady Ezreal Prax of Wessex.
Of course.
And he'll whistle and the Danes will walk off.
And I guess we'll follow them to their camp.
All right, you guys travel the rest of the way. Is there any role play stuff you guys want to do en route? I'll give you a quick opportunity to do that during the hours long buggy ride.
Was that over the top? I felt like that was over the top.
What was, Captain?
Oh, nothing.
Well, I thought it was pretty appropriate myself.
This is a primitive culture. It's entirely possible that that sort of action is what's needed to get results.
It's amazing the humans survived all of this. No offense, Mr. Casey.
Well, not much taken.
Where do you think our good lieutenant commander gets his martial abilities? There's a long tradition on Earth.
The Vikings may have been primitive, but their prowess as warriors was undeniable.
Might give a clean out a run for their money.
Indeed.
Nidan, did you think that you would be going to a Viking feast when you reported for duty this morning?
No, I can't say that I did.
Casey?
This should be interesting, though. From what I read, the Vikings had considerably better hygiene than their Norman counterparts, so hopefully, at least the food won't poison us.
I was about to ask Casey. Do we expect good food?
Well, if you're a vegetarian, I'm afraid it may not be your best meal. But if you're into, well, red meat cooked over the fire, then you're in luck.
Anything spicy?
Absolutely not.
Good.
And eventually you make it to the Danish camp. You see rows and rows of tents. You count maybe about 50 or so Danes encamped here. You see several women and children tied up. The ones that aren't are, serving food, fetching clothes, bringing buckets of water. You see a few cages locked to the side where there's Saxon males inside. And eventually you are led to this tent here. And your possession is stopped there, horses tied up. All the Danes around here are, have their hands on their weapons ready for a fight. Their axes, their swords, shields in hand, full battle garb. Everyone give me insight security difficulty 1.
Any of my focuses apply?
Observation, things like that. This is to observe something.
Take a threat.
Don made it. Casey definitely made it. Everyone made it. 1, 2, 5. You technically gain 6 momentum out of that. 6. Yep, 6 momentum. Off to one of the sides, you see an actual metal cage. But this one is surrounded by goat's heads. And in the middle of it, very badly beaten, is your crewman, whatever the heck I called him.
Landon.
His crewman Landon.
Mr. Casey, see if you can't get close to get some medical scans on him.
Yes, Captain. If the rest of you are able to keep them distracted, I might be able to sneak by and potentially even administer some aid.
He's well
All
guarded,
right.
though.
I thought it was.
Yeah, he has a few guards around him. He is surrounded by goat's heads, though.
Okay, I just heard the ghost heads burn. How many guards?
There's actually 4 of them.
I think I can hit 4 at the same time with my Type 1 phaser. Especially with no one noticing.
So Casey, if you're going to go off and do that, I am going to need a difficulty 3 daring security roll to kind of like blend into the surrounding brush so you can get close to him.
All right.
The rest of you are going to the tent, I assume?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I use survival for a focus because he's like sneaking through the brush?
No.
Okay.
This would be like infiltration, stuff like that.
I would like to spend my determination potentially on the value uphold Starfleet tradition of never leave a man behind.
Sure.
We got to get him out of here.
Sure.
All right. And I will spend 2 threat for a 3rd dice. Or 4th, technically.
You know what,
Wait,
Casey?
no, that's 1 threat and 2 momentum for a 3rd dice.
So what are you giving me?
1 threat and 2 momentum for me to roll 3 dice in addition to my spent determination.
It
So
would
this
be
will just
5.
Wait, I'm confused.
do you want to roll all 5 dice or like 4 dice, including your determination?
I want to roll 4 dice, including my determination.
Okay, so this would just be a momentum and a threat or 2 threat.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing a momentum and a threat.
All right, I will spend the one you gave me and another one to make your complication range 2.
Okay. Um.
Almost had it. Bloody
Um,
cold. So you gain 2 momentum out of that. Casey, you're able to get close for tricorder scans.
okay.
You know, you're still well within the brush of the surrounding forest. You're close enough that the guards won't notice you, but if you get any closer, they will. So you're at least able to get scans off. And while you're doing that, we'll come back to you, Casey, and we'll go to the captain's party. So Guthrum will meet you outside the tent. Come, sit. I'm sure we have much to discuss.
Of course. Takes a seat.
And so you guys sit around the little table we have set up. There's a lot of like like there's cooked pig, chicken legs, some fruit and vegetables, but not much. As soon as you sit down, he fills your glasses with like a mead. So, what does His Highness have to offer us?
The king is willing to offer a small amount of gold in exchange for you to dismantle your army and leave Wessex alone.
A small amount of gold, you say? My men number in the thousands, my lady. You're going to have to do better than a small sum of gold. Lest we raid and take it.
Let's face it, sir, that if you continue on this devastating path of destruction, I fear, though, at one point you only push Wessex into more regrettable tactics. The
We
king
have
wishes to end this more peacefully without any further lives being taken on either side. He is a
we have spies within your city walls, Lady Prax. We know very well the state of your armies. They will not withstand another full-on assault from us.
Are you sure about that?
My spies have not failed us yet.
Or perhaps your spies are feeding you false information?
I see the lies that the King of Wessex spins with his devil's tongue has reached you too, Lady Prax.
What I offer here today is only a small portion of what the king is willing to give.
And just how much is the king willing to give?
I'm trying to figure out in my head like how much is a lot, or the appropriate amount.
That was a good question. I never did look up how much they actually gave. Maybe it'd be good to know.
Um,
I mean, like a large chest full of gold coins would have been like insane. Obviously, mining wasn't very efficient, so precious metals in general were pretty awesome.
Uh, I'll send you a number. I did a little research. What I was quick to find.
$2,000 gold pieces.
And I'm gonna cut to Casey really quick. All right, Casey, what are you doing? You just moved into position.
Run a scan of Grumman Landing.
All right, this will be a control or reason difficulty. Control or reason with medicine difficulty 2.
Okay, emergency medicine focus.
No, because you're just trying to figure out what's. I talked myself into it. Yes.
Okay. In that case, I will. Yeah, we have a 10 of momentum. I'll spend 3 for 4 days. Oh, good thing I did. So these subdermal communicators, can I just like communicate directly into like the captain's ear, or
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
case?
The communication systems are separate, so the holograms would not hear it.
Casey the captain. I've managed to get close enough to crewman Landon to scan him, and he's beaten up pretty badly and probably in a great deal of pain, but he's in stable condition. He's not at risk of dying anytime soon, but he should definitely get help as soon as possible.
She kind of goes, mm-hmm.
And we'll cut back to the captain. That is an offer, but I know the King of Wessex can do better.
The king also has to provide for his people.
And I have to provide for mine.
It costs a certain amount of currency to rebuild these cities that you have recklessly destroyed.
And how much will you lose when we take over the entire kingdom? My offer is 5,000 pieces.
2,800.
4,500 pieces. With that amount, I will be able to convince all the Jarls to stop their aggression.
Can I do an insight check on that to make sure like he's not like being deceptive?
Let's make this a difficulty 3. Insight command.
Deception for a focus.
I'm not.
Composure.
I could probably give you. Composure.
Take a threat into momentum. Rerolling that complication.
All right, you got it. I could probably just say this out loud. You get the sense that he's probably seeking an end to this conflict, probably just as much as you are. But you get the fact that he's just trying to saber rattle for the sake of his troops, to kind of show that he's still a strong and powerful leader.
Can you repeat that one more time? Like,
So you get the feeling that he's also looking for a end to this conflict, but you feel a lot of his bravado is to save face in front of his troops. To show that he's still a powerful leader.
I do have cold reading, so to get a bonus momentum to ask another question.
Okay.
With knowing that, do you think he would be willing to come lower in the asking price? Or do I think he would be willing to go slightly lower than that. $3,800 gold.
That is a fine offer.
It is more than enough to give your men between 2 to 3 gold, which is a handful reward for any soldier, and also to give your Yars a handsome sum.
We would also need assurances that the King of Wessex recognized East Anglia as Dane territory.
Which portions were you thinking of?
The lands we have already conquered in East Anglia will remain under Dane control.
If that is the case, then your men must declare fealty to the king.
My men will never lay fealty to a Saxon.
But you are on Saxon land.
We could always say that the king would recognize it even if he won't.
In history, he did.
I don't know Anglo-Saxon history well enough.
Right. Many Danes' blood has been spilled in the name of Odin to claim this land. We will not lay down for a pup. $3,500 gold pieces and the claims to those lands in East Anglia. And I think we can have a deal, Lady Ezreal Prax.
And I have your insurance that your men will no longer harm the people of Wessex.
You have my word as a true son of Odin that no Saxon from Wessex will be harmed.
And what of those you've taken prisoner? Are they permitted to be free?
I'm sure a negotiated price for their freedom can be arranged. Say an extra 10 gold pieces.
Very well. Then
But I
we have
warn you, one of them is a sorcerer who follows pagan deities that are not Norse.
Nor do you follow the will of God. Kind of like does it like I think like I hope I got that right.
Your priest will kill him anyway.
And what man do you speak of that follows these wicked ways?
We found him playing with some type of light device, communicating with some deity from beyond. Our plan was to sacrifice him to Odin, but I suppose a sacrifice to your god will be fine as well.
Of course. Then the individual will be released into our custody, where he will suffer punishment.
And I think we have an accord. And he stands up and grabs his drink. To peace.
To peace.
And where's my...
Oh, thank God. I mean,
And the program ends with everyone there, with the crewman lying hurt on the ground.
let's get this let's get crewman lined down into sick bay, and Commander, see to it that main engineering fixes this holodeck before more accidents happen.
Yes, Captain.
All right, and I think I'm actually going to call that the end of Holo Law.